This is the inmotion v10f, and this is my review of the inmotion v10f. This wheel actually came out in 2018, so right now it's 2021. I bought this wheel a few months ago in April of this year, 2021. I didn't get to ride it much in April, but I've ridden it a lot in May and June, and I've put over 1,200 kilometers on this wheel, and so that's why I'm doing this little review. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm a new rider. I'm brand new to EUCs. I've never owned an electric unicycle before. This is my first one and my only one. So I figured if you're someone who is considering buying an electric unicycle and you're considering the V10F, then I can give some opinions on it and what I think about it. Okay, so this is a review from a perspective of a total newbie or a novice with electric unicycles. Okay, so let's talk looks. So this is the inmotion V10F. This is how it looks. The wheel is very, very sleek. It has a very slim profile. You have these pedals at the side. The pedals have grip tape, very sticky. And this is like a hard plastic, so it's pretty much hard to break this. It's been dropped a couple times and you can see it's in great condition. The side lights actually also have these like sort of, I don't know if you call them RGB or kind of like LED lights that spin. I don't have them on right now. We're in the sun. You wouldn't be able to see them anyways, but you can turn them on and you can customize the patterns. They have these kind of side pads here that are good for your legs. I don't use any power pads when I ride, so I've just been riding it like this, for months, and I'm fine with it. The pedals are kind of just, there's no magnets or anything in here, so they just kind of, maybe it's like a friction or a screw or something in there. You have a headlight on the front here, which I don't ride much at night, but it's really not that bright, so it's not the greatest. And you have Bluetooth speakers. You have a speaker in the front here, and you have a speaker in the rear. And you can connect this to your phone and you can play music directly through this. And you have a brake light here as well. I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera, but there's a brake light there. It's not too bright. You also have a charging port back here, and you can charge this in and you can plug it in and charge. Now it does take maybe a good, I would say 8 hours to charge the wheel. It's a very long time to charge if the battery's dead, so be aware of that. It's a very long charge. What else do we have here? Right here we have a spin kill button. So there's a little button under here. When you press it, I'll see if you can hear it. If you hear that, it allows you to, now the wheel is not balancing. So the wheel balances itself, so it's not balancing anymore. But when you let go of it, it balances like magic. And then you have a battery gauge in the front. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but there is a battery gauge. You get 5 bars. Essentially, each bar is about 20% of the battery. So, and I'll talk about battery life later. You also have this handle here. I'll show you how to use this handle. You pop the handle up. Okay, and this is just a quick demonstration of how the handle works in real life, just walking around with the handle. It's very easy to maneuver, very comfortable. Left hand, right hand. You can make it go anywhere you want. Very happy with the handle. Well designed. It comes in handy, and I'm very happy with that. Okay, just a quick demonstration of the portability of the wheel. Like I mentioned before, it has a slim profile. It only weighs 45 pounds. So it can be lifted. I mean, I can lift it with one arm, right? It's not that heavy. And of course, because it's so slim, you can fit it inside of a closet or any small space. Maybe even, you could maybe even slide it under a bed. I live in a small sort of a studio, so this fits into my closet perfectly. Doesn't take up too much space, and it's very easy to get around. Now, there's one thing I should mention, because I mentioned before about the battery life, about it taking 8 hours to charge. The one thing is this battery only charges to 97%. So InMotion actually has an app that you can download. Well, you have to download the app to actually unlock the wheel if you're buying it brand new. But in the app, you'll notice it only charges to 97%. It never actually charges to 100%. I don't know what the reason for that is, but that's just the way it is. So yeah, keep that in mind. performance. Now, I weigh 170 pounds, and I find that the acceleration on the wheel is great. I have no issues with it. It gets me up to speed as fast as I require. And now, of course, this is my only wheel, so I don't have anything else to compare it to, but I find the acceleration is very sporty, you know. In addition to that, braking, I like the braking, but I think it could maybe have a little bit stronger braking. So I think, you know, that's something you have to kind of keep an eye on. Always keep an eye ahead of what you're looking, you know, what's in front of you, so you can give yourself that extra distance to brake. Turning on the wheel is also excellent. I don't have any issues turning. Let me get down here and close to see. So let me see if I can show you. The wheel comes with a street tire installed. So this is a street tire. This is not an off-road tire. So you're not going to be, you know, I don't recommend, I mean, you can go off-road if you want. I'm not really a big off-roader. I don't really do that much. The wheel is not really good off-road. I find when I go in the grass and in the mud, you slip a lot. So that would lead to a lot of crashes. So I generally avoid it. But if that's something you're looking to do, then that's fine. I would probably say get an off-road tire. What you can do is, in terms of turning, what I do is I kind of play around with the air pressure of the tire. When I got this from the factory, it was it was pumped up really hard. And that, you know, the cushioning is not there. So you can turn much tighter, but you don't get the sort of soft cushioning. And I'm really more of a cruiser and a conservative rider. I'm not really doing stunts and tricks. So I'm not really, you know, cutting in and out of traffic and doing anything crazy. I just cruise around. So I like a more comfortable ride. So I lower the tire pressure a little bit and it makes it softer. So I'd recommend. The wheel also has, let me get it up here for you guys. The wheel also has a 2000 watt motor, and it has a 960 watt hour battery, if I'm not mistaken. So that pretty much gives you a lot of, I think it gives you good performance. In terms of range, InMotion advertises, let's say 100 kilometers. That's what they say that the wheel can get. Now, I don't normally get that. The top speed of the wheel they advertise is 40 kilometers per hour or 25 miles an hour. Now, I don't usually, you can't really cruise at 40. You can hit 40, but that's with a strong tilt back. The pedals basically tilt all the way back, and you get a loud beep. So, you know, they advertise it at 40 kilometers an hour. You can't really cruise at 40. It's really, that's just like a rare example. Normal cruising, you'll get 33, 34 kilometers an hour, and then after that, it starts to tilt you back and starts to beep. So, you know, keep that in mind. And also, what I forgot to mention was the range. So I did say that it can, InMotion advertises 100 kilometers. Oops. Yeah, so InMotion advertises 100 kilometers of max range, but you're not going to really get that. I'm averaging around, let's say 50 kilometers total range. So that's really what you could expect. Now, you technically can get 100 kilometers, and I've gotten, the most I got was close to 90. I actually got over 90 once. And like I said, I weigh 170 pounds, but the only way you can do that is if you actually ride really slow. So I rode less than 20 kilometers an hour, and I was able to get 90 kilometers on this thing. And that's going really slow. So just going down bike paths, the sidewalk, going really slow, you can hit pretty high range. But for the most part, when you're cruising at about 33, 34, 35, you know, getting close to tilt back, you're not going to be able to get any more than, you know, 50 kilometers on this thing, which is still... Okay, so let's quickly talk about the durability. I'm going to try and wrap this up. I find the wheel is extremely durable. And now there's a few nitpicks, of course. When I was learning to ride it, I did drop it, and I'm not sure if this is actually catching it on the camera there. See if I can stop blocking it. There it goes. So I did scratch the handle a little bit, and that was, you know, on my second day of learning. And another little nitpick here is that on the side, there's a little clip here that you can see. It's supposed to have a second clip on that side, and the handle is supposed to clip into it, but you know, it did snap off, and this little clip is made of plastic, so it broke. And you know, you can't, InMotion won't sell you this one little clip. They want you to buy this whole mechanism, this whole assembly, the entire handle and everything. They want you to pay for that just to replace this one clip. So, you know, I'm not going to do. Otherwise, from that, I've ridden it in the rain. I have, you know, been dropped once or twice. It's still in good condition, so it looks excellent. The pedals are scratched up, but otherwise, yeah. Now it does come with a special cover you can get. I got the cover from smartwheel.ca, where I bought it from, and I strongly recommend getting the cover because, you know, it's not, let me see if I can turn this around. Yeah, I strongly recommend getting the cover, guys, because you will drop it when you're learning, it will get scratched, and it has protected it. So if you look here, you'll see, I mean, mine's in pretty much excellent condition, and that's because I keep the cover on almost all the time. And initially when I was learning, you know, when I dropped it, didn't get any scratches. The cover protects the whole thing. So I recommend getting the cover. Let's wrap this up. So the inmotion v10f, what are my final thoughts? We'll go through some pros and some cons. The pros, the wheel is lightweight, 45 pounds. It's an excellent beginner wheel if you're starting out with an electric unicycle. I would recommend starting here. Don't go for anything less than this. This is the perfect weight. It's light, it's easy to learn on, it's not too heavy, so it's not, you know, it's very forgiving if you make mistakes. It's well built, very durable, so you can drop it, you can scratch it, and it'll keep ticking. In 1,200 kilometers, I have done no maintenance on this thing. The only thing I've done is maybe change the tire pressure and, you know, just kind of you know, clean it, but that's it. No maintenance, nothing. It works perfectly, as perfect as it was the day that I bought it. So those are, I would say, all the pros. It has an excellent handle, great to maneuver around. You know, like I said, performance, braking, gets you up to a good top speed. I really have, it's just all pros. In terms of cons, if I really was going to nitpick, I would say maybe, you know, the little clip here should be made out of a metal. Maybe if it had faster charging, that would be a good option. I think you can buy a fast charger online for this wheel, but I don't have that. I just have the stock charger. So if it could charge faster, that would be great. Of course, things like bigger battery life, but that's not, you know, there are more expensive wheels for that. So for this wheel, honestly, there aren't really many cons. You know, it's all positives, it's all pros. Would I recommend it? Absolutely, I'd recommend it. It cost me $1,600, well, $1,600 Canadian dollars. So that's a great price, I think, as an entry-level wheel. In terms of that, I don't really know what else negative that I could say. You know, no maintenance, great price, great performance. I would recommend getting this wheel. I guess you could ask me, the last question would be, would I buy this again? If given the second opportunity, would I purchase this wheel a second time? Absolutely, I would. No question about it. I would buy this again without even thinking about it, no hesitation. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be my review for the V10F. And yeah, thanks for watching.